Hi Maheshwar.
Hello, sir. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Maheshwar. How are you?
I'm really great, sir. Yes.
So welcome to CATWay, Maheshwar, again.
Thank you so much, sir.
So Maheshwar, you have converted I'm Ahmedabad, I'm Bangalore, I'm Calcutta, and all Blackie, so-called acronym Blackie.
Yes.
Currently, how are you feeling?
I'm really feeling grateful, sir, actually, because I was before my CAT exam. Actually, I was like, I live near Vizag city. So if I happen to convert, I am Vizag. I thought I would be more than happy. So
Mhm.
after converting all these I was feeling really grateful and happy. Like I happened to pull this extreme effort, and like
Mhm.
I'm really glad I happened to convert all these IAMs.
So let's start with the preparation phase of yours during CAT. Many upcoming aspirants will be watching your video. So what was your strategy for CAT?
So actually, in my opinion, there is no actually one point strategy for all. Everyone
Mhm.
needs to have their own set of strategies. So
Mhm.
I actually want to tell people about what usually goes wrong in each section, and let's then discuss about the strategies. So
Mhm.
as many people, CAT aspirants know, there are three sections: VRC, LRDI, and like quant. So
Mhm.
when I took my first mock around the month of January last week, I actually identified that I was taking somewhere around 12 minutes to
All right.
complete single passage, which is not an ideal place to be in. So
Mhm.
I understood like what is usually going wrong with me. So
Mhm.
the thing is, in my mind, I'm reading a passage, I'm converting the passage into my mother tongue, and then converting then to English. And whatever the new information I was getting, I was then connecting this information to the old old information which I have converted into into my mother tongue. So all
Mhm.
process which is going in the back of my mind is actually reducing the time. So actually, people recommend reading long essays, hard essays. The more you read hard essays and long essays, you get more comfortable with it. But I actually did the opposite thing
All
because
right.
that, yeah, because that's not the only problem I was actually facing.
Mhm.
I was actually reading the passages loud. When you read the passages loud, what happens is the ability to read fast also reduces. So I actually happened to read the passages in like I actually happened to read like very easy essays. So I started reading these books which are called Susan Weiss Bauer, which are the history books, which are written in a very easy and comfortable way. So I've actually happened to start reading all these passages like just looking through the eyes. So with this, I
Mhm.
the ability to read outside, and then my ability to understand various topics of history increased, like Renaissance, Restoration, and different time periods. They actually got more comfortable with all these domains. And reading these books, after reading these easy books, I actually started reading Ion essays and stuff from the Atlantic, the Guardian. So with this, I happened to reduce my time from 12 to 15 minutes to around 5 to 7 minutes. And
Mhm.
in my actual CAT exam, I happened to actually complete the process in just 4.5 minutes. Yes,
Wow, that's great. So this is how you attempted BARC
PRC
section,
section.
right?
So
Yeah.
coming to my LRDA
LRD.
strategy,
Mhm.
what happens after VRC is like just after we run for a 15 minutes, we get tired. After the rigorous exercise of the 40 minutes of the VRC section, our mind gets tired and the ability to take more oxygen levels of the brain also reduces, due to which we usually goes blank out. We usually, in the sense, the untrained mind usually goes blank out. And
Mhm.
also, a person reads an LRDI passes, they just randomly read the LRDI passes. That's not how you should be reading the LRDI passes. Actually,
Mhm.
after the clues are given, after every clue, you need to actually make some sense of it. In a numerical way or a different like way. You should make some sense out of the clue, and you should connect the clues as much as possible, and you should identify the
Mhm.
main clue, and you should build everything around this clue. So even after identifying all these things, I actually felt uncomfortable solving LRDI section. And LRDI is actually my weakest area, not because I am not able to do it, but because I am taking more than like 15 to 20 minutes to solve a particular set. So
Mhm.
to reduce this time, so what I have done is I have actually identified some reasons why I'm actually usually taking more time. I'm actually blacking out during the 10 minutes of time. I was actually in some zone. I'm actually zoning out after this rigorous exercise of VRC. I'm actually not able to focus. So I actually started every day doing more Sudokus as much as possible. So Sudokus, what happens is you usually think in numbers. And in LRDA, you should start to think, you should actually think in numbers. So thinking in numbers and also focusing on the time and reducing time for each Sudoku helped in the rigorous exercise the brain needs to take during the LRDA section. And I was also and I was also playing the chess in the time frame, which actually helped me reduce stress levels. Okay, we can manage all these things in the given strategy. And apart from this, the usual LRDS strategy definitely goes by understanding what usually comes, and usually the particular domains. You should be solving the X number of sets from each section, and you should solve as many diverse sets as possible, combining different sets. Like set theory should be combined with different arithmetic sections. Yes, that's the usual strategy. And regarding coming to quant, being an engineer, I was actually, it's a cakewalk, and my even in the most toughest mocks, I always used to score about 98 percentile in my quant. But for non-engineers, I would actually ask this one particular question. So why do actually engineers happen to be so well with quant? Because they have understood all the basics of the quantitative section, have got a basic framework how this particular formula is there, and they're able to pull off this formula just from their domain space and actually to use that in a particular time frame. So I would say you should also start to learn everything from the basics. One particular suggestion I would give you is when you learn formulas, don't ever remember the formulas. Okay, I would say okay, remember the formulas, but okay, you should know the derivation of the formulas. Without derivation, you should never know the formula. And even in the worst geometry formulas, even as big as may seem, I always know how to derive the formulas. And even when you see the derivation, you should not just go through the theorem and the proof. You should start to think at least for 10 to 15 minutes, okay, how a mathematician would have actually derived the formula. That's how you need to remember as many times as the derivation. And if you see most of the quant questions, actually they are just the replication of these derivations. So the more you get comfortable with the formulas, the more you get comfortable with the derivations, and the more you get comfortable with the numbers, you would definitely succeed in quant. And also you need to be comfortable with adding, subtraction, and multiplication of the numbers. I was actually not comfortable with addition, subtraction, and multiplication of the numbers. So one thing I particularly did for quantitative section is actually made a 10 by 10 row by column sheet, and actually you to add, subtract, multiply numbers every day for like around 1 month to 1.5 months, after which I got so much comfortable with numbers.
All right, Mahesh. So Mahesh, this was your third attempt, right?
Yes.
In CAT. So continuously keeping yourself motivated after two unsuccessful attempts. How did you pull up with this?
Actually, my first two attempts, I actually have not been much serious about it, which happened to make this loss. But however, I would say I usually have this commitment always. Okay, if not CAT, then what? I actually want only to like do the MBA from the IIMs. I never thought about other exams, and actually I have this like abnormal willpower. So I happen to actually pull off. So for people who want to give the other attempts, I would say willpower is just one thing which we can always cultivate. It's not anything like born, or it's not anything which is inherent. You need to like do everything. Uh, you need to every day like plan to do things. The more you complete small tasks, the more you get better at your willpower. You need to
That
start
eagerness,
day.
that eagerness I have seen in you. Every time you were asking the questions, that eagerness was prevalent in that. So that's a good thing. Yeah, that I have seen. That willpower to succeed, I have seen in you. That's a good thing you have.
And I would say willpower is definitely one thing which can be cultivated. The more you control your day, the willpower gets cultivated. So you should start. I actually have this tendency of controlling my entire day. Before like going to bed, I usually make a schedule of what my next day should be looking at. So I used to, the more you control your day, the more your weeks get controlled. The more your week, the more the week get controlled, the more the month get control, the next quarter gets control, and the next financial year gets control. So that's how I look at a year. So that's how you can cultivate your willpower too.
Exactly. So Mahesh, then came the D-Day and then came the results of D-Day, and the scorecard was reflecting 99.39.
Yes.
How was the feeling at that point of time?
Actually, as I said earlier, if I happen to convert IM wise, I would be more than happy. So before the key sheet is out, I happen to go to my mom and touch my mother's feet and say like, Mom, this time I would definitely convert IM wise. So she's so happy. And then I thought I'm expecting somewhere around like 98 percentile or 99, around 98 percentile, but it turned out to be 99.39 percentile. And I was able to pull off all the interviews very well. So it was more than happy. Yeah. And I would say rather than the result, I was more happy about the effort I was able to pull off. So just like a cricket player or football player, after their match, they would not discuss about the shininess of the cup or the value of their check. They would be always be telling about their strategies. So constantly, I was only after this result period, I was only thinking about okay, what an effort I was able to pull off. So yeah. So
All right.
even though you guys may feel stressful, even though you guys may feel uh, comfortable with the low marks, I would definitely say there will be a day where you would pat your back saying that, okay, you have pulled this a tremendous amount of work and you would appreciate your willpower. So just enjoy this phase, I would say.
Exactly, Mahesh. Exactly, well said. So, Mahesh, now I can say that you are a part of CATWay since long, and you have converted the holy trinity of IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and Calcutta. How is the culture of CATWay?
Actually, this CATWay culture, which I have seen, is like very unique of the various CAT domains. One thing which is very unique about the CATWay is the response time is very less. So I happen to respond you and Balendu sir very frequently, somewhere around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. sometimes. And you used to get the response in like a swift, like somewhere around like 2 minutes, and Balendu sir sometimes even reacted less than like 30 seconds, even at night, even at 3 a.m. or something like that.
Mhm.
So this response time, and CATWay always used to give like as many number of interview sessions which we want to take, which I utilized perfectly. So all these things are unique about the CATWay, and one-on-one student mentorship about the CATWay is one thing which I would really appreciate and have not seen in other CAT interview preparation
Mhm. I got it.
coaching classes.
Yeah.
And I'm
So,
really grateful I happened to connect with the CATWay.
okay. Thank you so much for these kind and gracious words. So, if I'll ask you, are you satisfied in one word, a yes or a no, and how much will you rate out of 10?
Perfect, and I would rate. And if I can give more numbers, I would definitely give, because I can't be more. I can't be more than like this is more than satisfaction.
I got it.
I'm really grateful to happen to meet you and Balendu sir. Yes.
So, any success mantra for the juniors from your side, those who will be giving CAT next year?
Uh, So if I would say I have actually mentioned this before. So success mantra in one sense, I would say taking this feedback loop which we see in control systems of the electrical engineering. So feedback loop in the sense you need to control your days, you need to control your weeks, and you need to see what output you are getting from the week, and is it aligned with your long-term goals, and then make sure what is going wrong in this week and then control the next week. So this is what my success mantra is. I used to plan my days very well. This happened. I used to plan my weeks very well. And I used to set my goals, and whether my goals are aligned with this or not. And if I happen to get any unpredictable outcome from my week, I used to take this input and make sure the next week goes well. So that's what the success mantra I would give to my coming CAT aspirants. So just plan your days well, just plan your weeks well. If you can't if you can't plan your day well, then there is no way you can't control your future. Controlling your future involves controlling your next day.
So, thank you, Mahesh, for your precious time. All the best for your near future and endeavors. I'm Ahmedabad is waiting for you. Just go and get success there. Catway is really proud to have assets like you.
Thank
All
you
the
so much.
best, Mahesh.